your legacy and making a difference. Our goal is to create opportunities for you. Your goal should be to take advantage of as many of them as possible. Follow your intellectual curiosity. Make the most of your class and study time and the opportunities. 4 years to receive your diploma. What will you point to as your greatest accomplishment as an undergraduate? If it was making a difference in someone's life, making an impact on a community, your time here will have been well spent.
As part of the greater and wider classroom, whatever your course of study. Unless, of course, you're into nuclear physics, that belongs in facility.
Success is a moving target, and if you're not chasing after it at all points in your college experience, it will get ahead of you. So find your calling and start today. Outside these walls are over 200 student organizations ready to accept you. If you want to be the next captain of the field hockey team, be a leader and play your heart out. If you want to be the editor of the school newspaper, spend every moment of your spare time figuring out what goes into a great newspaper, and be prepared to spend small letters in the connector's office. And if you want to be president of the student government, how about you wait off a year? Because I'm only a junior, and I wouldn't mind having this thing another year.
Native woman, I'm a Mohawk woman, we are a matrilineal people where I'm from. What does that mean? It means that we follow the line of our mothers. And I remember when I was about 11, 12 years old, I asked my grandmother. And my grandmother is one of those ladies who always has something funny to say. And you're never quite sure if she's telling you the truth. How many of you guys had a grandmother or grandfather who's always trying to pull the wool over your eyes? Making off-color jokes, trying to embarrass you in front of your friends. Yes, that's the kind of grandmother I had. So I remember asking her, I said, Duda, why is it that, we're matrilineal people and so many other nations are patrilineal and following their father's line? And my grandmother looks at me and she goes, Monique, you always know who your mother is, but you're never 100% sure who your father is. And I'm like, oh, is that the same for my aunts and uncles? She goes, oh, no, that's their grandfather. I'm like, sure, grandma, the chancellor. Your upper year students, your teachers, your parents, your older brothers and sisters, they're the ones that give you hope. And hope is such a gift. It is a gift because without hope, you don't have the courage to dream. And you have to have that courage. And some people think it's being arrogant, but you have to have that courage to think that you're put on this earth to do something great. What is that thing that you feel inside when you're lying in your bed at night and you are thinking about whether it's walking on the stage at America's Got Talent? Anybody got that dream? They'd never let me on stage, but I got that dream. Oh, stuck on top of the coat hangers. And she's playing around this TV, and I'm looking through the snow on the television. I'm sure you guys have never seen snow on your television, right? And I mean, remember, I lived in a time where there were 2 channels on television, and they went off the air at midnight. Heaven forbid. Now in Canada, there's a channel that you can watch chicken roasting 24 hours. You can also have logs burning, right? All 24 hours. So my mom was playing with this television, and I looked at the TV, and I was like, what am I looking for? And she says, we're trying to catch the Olympic feed. I said, what's the Olympics? And she says, well, the Olympics is where all the best athletes in the world go. And whoever wins is the best in the world. And I thought, oh, that sounds like a great to become a Olympic champion. His name was Alvin Morris. And when the gun went off, and he took off out of those starting blocks, I looked at my mom, and we're all cheering. I go, what do I do? She goes, you got to cheer really hard. You got to give him good energy. I think I cheered so hard I started to levitate. I was so excited. And I remember when he went over the finish line first, and he got out of his boat. He went up to the podium, and he bent down to get his Olympic gold medal. And from behind his back, he took out an eagle feather. And in my little 7-year-old mind, I thought, oh, he knows I'm watching him. He did that for me. Oh, wow. And I had that picture on my wall for the next 17 years. And my mom looked at me, and she bent down on her knee, and she said, what do you think of that? And I said, I want to go to the Olympics. I don't want to go there. And she says, you know what? And it was interesting because so often the little kids say, I have this big dream, but we laugh at them. It's something like the Olympics. I kind of said it in the way like, I want to go to Mars, or I want to, I want to be on America's Got Talent. You laugh at them. And she bent down and she looked me in the eye and she said, you know what? You can do it, and I'm going to help you. And all the rats came pouring out of this box. And she said, man, you should have seen those civil servants jumping on tables, rats running up their pant legs, everybody was screaming like little schoolgirls. And you know what? That dump was moved within a year. When you want to get something done, sometimes you have to be creative. And my mom never divulged how many rats there were. They had to fumigate the entire building. Well, that Minister of Indian Affairs, 30 years later, became the Prime Minister of Canada, which is like your president. And I was at a big conference in Ottawa, and I was standing on stage as part of Canada's mosaic of athletes. And the announcer said, oh, you have a special guest. A special person wants to meet you. And in from the back walked the Prime Minister of Canada, Jean Chrétien. And he was walking down, and I'm standing up there with all these famous athletes from Canada. He's shaking their hands, and he's got this little guy telling him who they are and what medals they won and what Olympics they went to. And when he gets to me, he looks at me and he says, how is your mother? He says, she kicked my ass. You tell her I said hello.